let me here for the record now. Now we're going to get into the really hot, spicy shit here. For the record now, Rollo Tomasi was right. Destiny. Rollo Tomasi was correct when he said men and women process emotions differently, and we don't have the same hardware to do so. Your emotionalism comes from wanting to be more like a chick. That's why. The more perfect that chick is, or the more perfect that guy is, the more he looks like a chick. Oh, I'm sorry. Where did we hear this already today? Right.
Brought an awful lot of attention to the plight of young men, and he's tried to simplify down a world which teaches young men that they are defective women.
Where have I heard that before? It's a Scooby-Doo mystery.
Most of the advice that we hear for young men at the moment is, if you were just less like men, if you just behaved a little bit more like women, if you talked about your feelings a little bit more, if
well, why is it so difficult? I don't understand why.
you communicate, if you were more gentle, if you were less concerned with...
This guy is fucking channeling Rollo Tomasi. I hate to talk about, I'm talking about myself in the third person. Channeling me.
Mastery and competition and conquer and becoming better and stuff like that, you know, some of the typical masculine traits, your life would be better.
Right. Oh, gosh. Well, we can't let Rollo actually say that on Piers Morgan because he sounds gleeful when he says that, quote unquote. Sounds pretty gleeful, Chris. Sounds like something I've heard one of those red pill guys say.
% of women say they want a man to make the first move. A different study said that 50% of men say that they're afraid of making the first move for being seen as creepy. Another study said that 20% of Gen Zers say that a man approaching a woman sometimes or always constitutes harassment. So you have a world in which women are scared of being approached, men are scared of...
Sorry. Does this bitch do anything? Like she's so right. This is crazy. Thanks. See you next time. Boom. TikTok. God. Sorry. I wasn't even going to play that one. Too much. Too good. Imagine me doing it. Can you imagine me building a TikTok channel just doing this? But she can. I can't. I don't know why. Fuck my life. Anyway, getting back to the point here. Once again, vindicated. Now, the greater thing here that I don't think a lot of people are going to really wrap their heads around, at least not immediately, is that this fundamentally challenges the idea of gender being separate from sex. Yeah. All your women's studies and all your gender ideology classes and all that humanities bullshit that you picked up in college about like, oh, well, you know, there's a fundamental difference between gender and sex. Fuck you. Here's the proof. You're wrong. No, there is no difference between gender and sex. Oh, gender is a social construct. No, because gender is downstream from biology. Oh, well, it looks like the sexes are different. Ergo, one gender, two gender, end of story. Fuck off. We win. Bye, bitch. Wait, hold on.
Bye, Felicia.
See you later. Yeah, all that nonsense. This is so I've got look for this shit to be repressed. Also, watch soon. There's going to be people who are going to try to come up with some new fucked up study about like, oh, this is why they're wrong. Here, look, we found these things. They have these one really super strong studies about like, you know, AI figured out, you know, the difference in brain architecture between men and women. And I will guarantee you there'll be 20 more studies that will show up right now and go, well, we don't know that this is really for sure. And they'll just be these loose bullshit Twitter, Alex from Date Psych style studies that are going to come out to try to disprove it. They'll put out about 20, you know, bullshit, half-assed, half-baked research, and then people will forget all about it and they'll go right back to where they were before, because you know why? They would much rather have red meat and they would much rather look like this, because that's more fun than confronting the fact that we have been lied to by our intellectuals, by our gender experts, our relationship experts, right? Jamie Lynn. All these chicks who are like want to give men male dating advice. How about this? Here's some male dating advice. Here, if your female life coach or your female dating advice or your self-help book doesn't start with Men and women's brains do not work do work differently. Scientists discover for the first time. If it doesn't begin and end with that fucking sentence, bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. No thanks.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. If it doesn't begin and end with the fact that men and women are different and they require different modalities, let's just say, for like when it comes to therapy, when it comes to like understanding, when it comes to like, oh, well, men emote this way, women emote this way. If you are dealing with a therapist who says, oh, men and women are just fundamentally the same, get the fuck out. Bye. That is not where you need to be. Sorry, in the 21st century, we figured it out. Why would you go back to fucking bleeding yourself with leeches? Why would you go back to the medical procedures of the 16th century or the 18th century? Why would you do that? You wouldn't do that, would you? No, you wouldn't. So why the fuck would you be relying on the same crap that these touchy-feely psychotherapy bullshit creators? Why would you even follow them? Why would you follow even Jordan Peterson at this point? Just that right there nullifies about half of the bullshit he's been talking about for forever. Nullified, dead, in the water. Time to come up with some new fucking ideas. Time to come up with something else. What else do you got, man? Because I'm still waiting on you. Tiffany, I'm doing a show. Tiffany's sending me pictures of, what is this? She's got new merch. My goodness. My favorite porn star has merch. Go get Tiffany's new merch. Would you like to see it? I could put it up. She'd like that. Or if it doesn't start with Stanford medicine identifies distinct brain organization patterns in men and women and men, get out. Get out. Get out. Men and women are different. I will reiterate one more time. Just because you didn't cry at the end of fucking Titanic doesn't mean that you are emotionally stunted. It means you're not a woman. Congratulations. You're not a fucking chick. And ladies, just because you didn't cry at the end of, Saving Private Ryan or The Predator, Lord knows, that doesn't mean you're not emotionally stable. It's because you're not a dude. Congratulations. Get the fuck. Congratulations. Get out. It's more than a man could take.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yes. But that's the thing. Okay, so in all seriousness now, and I'm going to get to super chats here in just a second. In all seriousness, this fundamentally changes things. I don't think people really realize just how fundamentally these studies change things. Okay, now they have done other studies in molecular, like cellular studies about men and women's brains architecture, which I have tried over. I've done full episodes on that on this show that nobody watches because there's not enough red meat. But let's see. Do I have? I might have even had one of them still loaded. Do I? Nah, I don't. I thought I had some from the old brain scan ones. Oh well. Maybe I don't. Sort of puts this shit in perspective, doesn't it? There's one I had loaded. So anyways, one more time, I will reiterate this. This changes everything, but I'll tell you why it changes everything. Because for the last 60 years since the sexual revolution, we have presumed blank slate-ism across the board. And the blank slate is bullshit. And if the blank slate is bullshit, that means a lot of the Enlightenment era thinking and a lot of the Enlightenment era hopes and dreams and all men are created equal and a lot of the fundamental rights that we presume today that are enforced by men are founded in that blank slate. They're founded in the idea that we're all born equal and we all have an equal chance and we all should have equal opportunity and yada yada yada, and that there's no difference between men and women except for the plumbing. Like that's the whole thing. And we've been clinging to this lie since the 20th century, but since certainly the sexual revolution. And now we have new data. New data has arrived. We have to reassess. Do you think that's going to happen anytime soon? Probably not in my fucking lifetime, because everybody wants red meat. Everybody would rather have that controversy. They would rather go back to that comforting dopamine hit or endorphin hits that they get from outrage brokers. So it serves commercial interests to not accept this shit. So everything's about the blank slate. My number one gripe with Destiny from day one is the fact that he's an emotionalist. He speaks emotionalism. He speaks emotional language. Oh, well, it would be great if we all could just get along and we all, we've evolved past that stuff. We've evolved past. Why can't men just be men and just or oh, I love this. There was I think I might even have the clip still on load. Michael Knowles going up against what was Farah in this case, and she was talking about how the evangelical right or the moral majority, the tradcon right, in some way makes certain jobs like nursing and teaching, makes them into sort of like jobs, like you're a beta male if you take these jobs kind of thing. And the fact of the matter is like men have different priorities and they have different incentives and they're disincentivized to be teachers. Men make pretty damn good teachers. The fact is they're just simply not going to take those things. They don't have the same interest in them. And it's a shame because they are definitely needed, but it has nothing to do with TradCon saying, oh, well, if you take these jobs, you take a nursing job, you're a pussy. I talked to a teacher, a female teacher on Wednesday. I talked to Kristen McDonald, also known as Ava James, a 0.04% top earner on OnlyFans, lives in Canada. We did an exclusive interview with her, who used to be a special needs, autistic kids teacher who got kicked out of her school for being on OnlyFans. Now, take that as you want. Should she be there? Should she not? That's not the point. The point is she's not there. A teacher that for 10 years taught autistic kids. Well, they were right to kick her out. Okay, well, that's not the point. The point is OnlyFans is a better opportunity for a woman. And I guess like if you were to switch the genders, you could say if there was something that was comparable to OnlyFans, it's OnlyFans is a bigger financial incentive than to remain as a teacher of autistic children, which is very much necessary and needed in society. Nursing, very much needed in society. Teaching, very much needed in society. Working in raw sewage, plumbers, electricians, all this other shit, right? Now, women don't have to worry about that because they're simply not drawn to those professions. But let's just say, for sake of argument, it's nursing. I've been on Saucecast. I was on Adam Sosnick's show with a woman who had gone from being a surgical nurse, 8 years of college, and I guess two of those had to be medical school, right? I mean, had to have some pretty extensive training, had to pay for a lot of this, had really high student loan bills, and was a surgical nurse for quite some time, made a good chunk of change, but like maybe $80,000, $90,000 a year doing what she was doing. It could be at 100, but even still, she started doing OnlyFans, got fired from her job, and OnlyFans, her husband, she doesn't do anything but have sex with her husband on OnlyFans and then sends like shots and lingerie and stuff. Paid off her loans in the first 2 months of being on OnlyFans and is now making somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.5 million a year because she shows her, and she's like in her 40s and said, you know what, if I'd have had it all over to do again and the opportunity exists to do OnlyFans, I would have done that and would never have gone into nursing. And congratulations, we're now down one surgical nurse because of OnlyFans, because it's there, because the incentive is there. And is it important? Yes, it's important. But the thing is like, you're not going to see men gravitate towards certain professions or gravitate towards certain women or gravitate towards certain things. Why? Because they're different than women. We don't cry at the end of Titanic, but we are told from the time we are 5 years old, little Johnny is told that if he doesn't emote like a woman, just like Chris Williamson just said, I wonder where he got this from. But if little Johnny doesn't emote and learn like a little girl, there's something wrong with little Johnny, and we need to sedate him, and we need to give him Ritalin or I don't know, Adderall or Vyvanse to make him normal, because normal is female and has been for a while. And that's why this throws all of that on its head. Normal is female. If you could just be more like the world will be a better place. But we still need male guidance because women are neurotic, right? But we still need tough men. We still need guys to be guys. We don't even need tough men. We just need men. We just need dudes to be fucking dudes. And we have to stop this social engineering program to condition. That's like fucking Clockwork Orange, man. It's like to socially, behaviorally condition men to be something they simply aren't born to be. You want to talk about like what's interesting? I always hear this. You probably heard this a million times. Say, I was just born this way. How come guys can't say, I was just born this way? That's why I don't cry at the end of fucking Titanic. And you have to accept me for that. And I'm not a bad person for that. Now, I use that as an extreme example. But if you go and you look at like the fact where when women say, oh, men need to go to therapy. Men are sexier when they go to therapy. And guys hear that and they go, oh, well, I'm going to be the best go to therapy guy there is because that hobby wants me to go. And fuck it, I'm going to go if that gets me laid, right? I'm going to out therapy all the rest of these guys because I'm a guy and competition is everything, right? But if you tell guys, you need therapy, you need this, you need that constantly, it's this constant droning. If you identified more with the feminine, if you got more in touch with your female side, if you expressed your emotions, thank you very much, Chris Williamson, for reiterating everything I've said. Oh, I don't know, for the last 12 to 15 fucking years. Rip off artist, man. Fuck you, fuck you, Chris. God damn it, man. Like, why not? Like, Pierce Morgan, come to the fucking source. Dump fucking Pearl. Dump fucking Chris Williamson. Dump everybody. Come and get it. I'll be happy to go on your fucking show. I'll be happy to go out to wherever the fuck. Is he in the UK? I think he's in the UK. Long story short, men and women are different. I've been saying this for a very long time. I'm glad we finally have like some conclusive, like hard data proof of this, like at least in the 2024. I've seen other studies that have been done that have more or less implied this, but now we have like 100% like hard ass proof about this. Men and women are different, but we live in a society that says if men don't emote and experience emotion and don't experience life like a woman, there is something wrong with them. It is toxic masculinity for men. Anything that is masculine, conventionally masculine, that doesn't align itself with the female experience of life is toxic, and we need to crush it and stamp it out. So when people say, oh, we're still victims of the patriarchy. The patriarchy died in 1971 and has been dying a slow death since then. Patriarchy is long gone. Anyone saying, oh, well, we have this patriarchal thing, get the fuck out of here. There is, sorry, I got to do this again. Get out. It is not that way. And anyone telling you, by the way, oh, well, we have, the reason why we have school shooters and their boys and everything is because they got bullied and because their dads gave them guns and because their football coaches made them take a lap and, kicked them in the and made them feel like they couldn't cry. And no, they don't. No, they don't. Not for the last at least 3 generations. No one's done that. In fact, everything is the opposite of that. Those guys are expressing their emotions with an assault rifle. They're doing exactly what you told them to do. They're just doing it the way that a guy would do it. They default to anger, which is what I also said in Access Vegas.